Oh, hello and welcome to a North Wales side-by-side video. Well, I know if you watched the video I made called Fully Charged EV, well, I basically put my points of view across about how EVs are portrayed by the media, especially the Fully Charged show, Robert Llewellyn, Quentin Wilson. How I don't like the way they put figures across. Well, this morning, whilst I was going through some of the motoring stories, Mercedes CEO Daimler Benz has come out today and said they are suspending all EV production because they've now realised they are losing money, they are hemorrhaging money on EVs. They're not making any money on them, and that doesn't make commercial sense. So I know Mercedes have got a new platform that they were going to build the next generation of cars on, the next generation of EVs. But I think they saw this coming, the fact that they're going to have to stop building them, because the platform they've built was built as a platform they could use for EVs, petrols, diesels and hybrids. So what they're going to concentrate on now is petrols and plug-in hybrids and normal hybrids, self-charging hybrids. So that's the story with Mercedes. They're giving up on EVs. BMW, now they're going down a slightly different route because they're working with Toyota. They've got a tie-up with Toyota with the Supra. They're developing hydrogen-powered vehicles, BMW are. Great, something Toyota have been playing with now for quite a few years. So that's where BMW are heading. Toyota are not just developing hydrogen, they're also still developing their hybrids and their plug-in hybrids. Because if the truth be known, back in 1998 when the Prius came out, everybody laughed at Toyota and said, that'll never work. Where are we now, 25 years later? They've perfected the hybrid. All the other manufacturers have now jumped onto the hybrid scene, but they're years and years behind the development of Toyota. They're miles behind. Toyota have pretty much perfected the self-charging hybrid. Because it makes sense. The hybrid makes a lot of sense because of the way it works, the way they program them, and the way the electric part of the car integrates with the petrol engine. How the fact that they've now gotten to the point where my MGUY Yaris Sport is capable in the right conditions of doing 80 miles an hour on pure EV. But that's in the correct conditions. But as a pure EV, it'll do 28 miles an hour just on moving away from standing start, and that's ideal in town. That's absolutely brilliant. So that's Toyota out of the way, BMW and Mercedes. Ford America, they've slashed the production of the F-150. They've slashed production of the Ford Mustang Mach-E. Sorry, I just swore to anybody that owns a Ford Mustang, because that thing isn't a Mustang. They've said they will be now making ICE, internal combustion engine Mustangs again. They're not giving up on that. Then General Motors, they're pretty much giving up on the electric powertrain because they've realised it's costing them way too much money to build these cars that nobody wants to buy. So they're going back to building what people want, which is petrol and hybrids. So from me making the video the other day to today, which is only 4 days, the whole world of EVs has turned totally around. Oh, and then I forgot Tesla. They've just slashed up to $10,000, £10,000 off the price of a new Model 3, Model X, Model Y. What's that going to do for the second-hand market on EVs now? They can't compete. They're just not selling the cars. Nobody's buying them. Those that have bought them, and they love them. They love them. But it's going to come to a point where, when they come to replace their disposable cars, because that's all they are throwaway cars, we will progress on to another form of fuel. And I think hydrogen's got its place, hybrids have got their place, but in the background on all these big manufacturers, they're developing synthetic fuels. And I think the next generation of internal combustion engine cars will be synthetic fuel powered cars using the technology that we know about and has worked for over 100 years, internal combustion running on a synthetic fuel. Not petrochemicals, but clean burning synthetics. And I think that's where the future of cars is heading. And I want to get that said now, on the 24th of May 2024. That's my prediction for the future. Hybrids, hydrogen, synthetic, but I think synthetic will be the big market leader eventually. They're working on it now and they will perfect it. But in the meantime, stick to your internal combustion engine car, stick to your hybrid, basically drive whatever you want. They can try as hard as they like, these governments, to get us off the road, to get anything like this classic car, they want them off the road. Stick to your guns, don't buy EVs, let the market tell the governments what people want to buy, and they might just scrap this EV mandate they've got, and they might tail back on their net zero. To be honest, they've got no choice but to do it. But I think the news that's broken today with Mercedes, I think that is the best news that could happen for the EV market. And I think other manufacturers will now go, you know what, we've made the biggest mistake in our lives listening to governments, and governments that haven't got a clue what they're doing because they don't live in the real world. Once again, thanks for watching a North Wales side-by-side video. Please follow MGUY on YouTube. He's absolutely brilliant and he goes into a lot more depth than I ever will. And I'm not going to cover any of the stories MGUY does, but I'll put a link in the description to his channel. His channel is brilliant, absolutely brilliant, and he goes into all the pitfalls of EVs in a lot more detail. Once again, thank you for watching. Please consider liking, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching a North Wales side-by-side video.